Uber is undoubtedly one of the most disruptive companies of the 21st century. What started as a simple idea to hail a black car with a smartphone app has grown into a global transportation and delivery powerhouse worth tens of billions of dollars. Despite facing countless regulatory battles, fierce competition, leadership controversies, and profitability challenges, Uber has managed to fundamentally change how we move around cities worldwide. From its launch in San Francisco in 2010, Uber has expanded to operate in over 10,000 cities across more than 70 countries, completing billions of rides annually. Beyond its core ride-hailing business, Uber has diversified into food delivery, freight, electric scooters, public transit partnerships, and more. It's estimated that in 2023 alone, Uber generated approximately $37 billion in revenue, finally achieving consistent profitability after years of losses. The first reason behind Uber's success is the revolutionary vision of its co-founders, Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp. The story begins in 2008, when the two entrepreneurs were in Paris for a conference and couldn't get a taxi during a snowstorm. This frustrating experience sparked an idea. What if you could request a ride with the tap of a button on your phone? Initially called UberCab, the service launched in San Francisco in 2010 with a simple premise: connect riders directly with drivers through a smartphone app. The original service was actually focused on black car service, luxury vehicles with professional drivers, not the everyday ride-sharing model we associate with Uber today. It was designed for a premium experience, allowing users to track their driver's location in real time, make cashless payments, and rate their experience afterward. What made this vision so powerful was that it identified fundamental pain points in the traditional taxi industry that had gone unchanged for decades: the uncertainty of finding a ride, the inconsistency of service quality, the inconvenience of payment, and the lack of accountability. Uber created an elegant solution to these problems through technology. Travis Kalanick, who became CEO in 2010, was particularly instrumental in defining Uber's aggressive growth strategy. Despite his later controversies, Kalanick's relentless drive to expand the service globally and his willingness to challenge established regulations helped Uber achieve tremendous scale in a relatively short time. The company's vision evolved from everyone's private driver to the more ambitious transportation as reliable as running water, signaling Uber's intention to become integrated into the fundamental infrastructure of cities worldwide. The second reason behind Uber's success was its perfect timing. Uber emerged at a critical intersection of several technological and social trends that created the ideal conditions for its business model to thrive. First, smartphone adoption was reaching a critical mass around 2010. The iPhone had been introduced in 2007, and by 2010, smartphones with GPS capabilities and app stores were becoming mainstream consumer products. This technological foundation was essential for Uber's model to work. Both riders and drivers needed smartphones with reliable location services and internet connectivity. Second, the 2008 financial crisis had created a large pool of unemployed or underemployed workers looking for flexible income opportunities. This provided Uber with a ready supply of potential drivers willing to use their personal vehicles to earn money. Third, urban transportation systems in many cities were struggling with rising populations and limited infrastructure improvements. Public transit was often insufficient, and traditional taxi services hadn't evolved significantly in decades. Fourth, consumer behavior was increasingly shifting toward on-demand digital services across many sectors. People were becoming accustomed to using their phones to instantly access services, whether it was streaming content, ordering products, or communicating with others. Finally, digital payment systems had matured enough to make the cashless transaction model viable on a large scale. The idea of automatically charging a credit card through an app without physical interaction was becoming more acceptable to consumers. This convergence of factors created the perfect storm for Uber's launch and expansion. Had the company started just a few years earlier, the technological infrastructure might not have been ready. A few years later, and competitors might have already established themselves in the market. The third key factor in Uber's success is the powerful network effect they were able to establish. A network effect occurs when a product or service becomes more valuable as more people use it. For Uber, this created a virtuous cycle that was difficult for competitors to break. As more riders joined the platform, it became more attractive for drivers to sign up because they could count on a steady stream of ride requests. Conversely, as more drivers joined, the service became more valuable to riders because wait times decreased and coverage areas expanded. This self-reinforcing loop helped Uber rapidly achieve the critical mass needed to make their service viable in each new market they entered. Uber strategically leveraged this network effect by focusing on density, rather than just geographic coverage. They would launch in a city center and ensure they had enough drivers to provide reliable service in that core area before expanding outward. This approach meant that early adopters had a consistently good experience, which drove positive word of mouth and further adoption. The company also used aggressive subsidies and incentives on both sides of the market to jumpstart this network effect. They offered significant bonuses to new drivers and heavily discounted rides for passengers. While this strategy was expensive and contributed to years of financial losses, it allowed Uber to rapidly build market share and establish dominance before competitors could gain a foothold. Once Uber achieved a strong network effect in a city, it became difficult for competitors to challenge them effectively. A new entrant would need to offer significant incentives to attract both drivers and riders simultaneously, requiring massive capital expenditure with uncertain returns. This dynamic helped Uber maintain its position even in markets where local competitors emerged. The fourth reason behind Uber's success is its sophisticated technology platform. While the concept of connecting riders and drivers might seem simple, the execution required complex systems working together seamlessly. At the heart of Uber's platform is its matching algorithm that efficiently pairs riders with nearby drivers. This system accounts for multiple variables, including location, estimated time of arrival, driver ratings, vehicle type, and expected demand patterns. The algorithm continuously improves through machine learning, analyzing millions of trips to optimize the matching process. Uber's dynamic pricing model, commonly known as surge pricing, is another technological innovation that helps balance supply and demand in real time. When rider demand exceeds driver availability in a specific area, prices automatically increase to incentivize more drivers to go there. While this feature has sometimes been controversial among users, it has been essential in maintaining service reliability during peak periods. The company has invested heavily in mapping technology, developing proprietary systems that go beyond standard mapping services. These include detailed information about optimal routes, traffic patterns, pickup and drop-off points, and even building entrances data that helps reduce wait times and improve the overall experience. Uber's data science capabilities have been another competitive advantage. The company collects enormous amounts of data from every trip, which it uses to predict demand, optimize routing, improve safety, detect fraud, and enhance the user experience. This data-driven approach extends to their expansion strategy, helping them identify promising new markets and optimize their entry approach. The platform's scalability has been remarkable, handling millions of simultaneous connections globally while maintaining low latency. This technical foundation has allowed Uber to rapidly launch new services like Uber Eats, Uber Freight, and various vehicle options without building entirely new systems from scratch. The fifth reason for Uber's success is its ability to adapt to challenges and diversify its business model. Few companies have faced as many obstacles as Uber has throughout its growth, from regulatory battles to public scandals, driver protests, and stiff competition. Yet the company has repeatedly demonstrated remarkable resilience and flexibility. When facing regulatory pushback about its classification of drivers as independent contractors, Uber mobilized its user base as advocates, adapted its policies, and negotiated with authorities while continuing operations. This approach didn't always win friends, but it bought the company time to become so integrated into urban transportation that it became difficult to shut down. Uber has also shown willingness to retreat strategically from markets where it couldn't win. In China, after an expensive battle with local competitor Didi Chuxing, Uber ultimately sold its Chinese operations to Didi in exchange for a significant ownership stake. Similar moves in Southeast Asia and Russia demonstrated pragmatism rather than pursuing market share at any cost. The launch of Uber Eats in 2014 represents one of the company's most successful diversification efforts. By leveraging its existing network of drivers and technology platform, Uber created a food delivery service that has become a major revenue stream. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when ride-hailing demand plummeted, Uber Eats became a crucial lifeline for the company. Other diversification efforts include Uber Freight, which connects shippers with carriers, Uber Health, providing non-emergency medical transportation, Uber for Business, offering corporate transportation solutions, and investments in micromobility options like electric bikes and scooters. In 2017, following a series of scandals involving workplace culture, privacy concerns, and leadership issues, Uber underwent a significant corporate overhaul. Travis Kalanick stepped down as CEO and was replaced by Dara Khosrowshahi, who initiated a major cultural reset with the slogan, "We do the right thing, period." This ability to acknowledge failures and reinvent itself has helped Uber maintain its position despite serious reputational challenges. Uber's journey from a simple black car service in San Francisco to a global transportation platform is a remarkable business story defined by both extraordinary success and significant controversy. The company has fundamentally changed how millions of people move around cities, created flexible earning opportunities for drivers, and inspired countless other Uber-for-X startups attempting to apply similar models to different industries. However, Uber's path has not been without serious challenges. Questions about the sustainability of the gig economy, the treatment and classification of drivers, aggressive corporate tactics, and the path to profitability have all shadowed the company's growth. After years of massive losses, Uber finally achieved consistent profitability in 2023, vindicating some aspects of its long-term strategy while still leaving open questions about the future. As transportation continues to evolve with autonomous vehicles, electric cars, and new mobility concepts, Uber is positioning itself to remain relevant by investing in these technologies and forming strategic partnerships. The company that once described itself as being in the business of moving people now sees itself more broadly as a technology platform connecting people with various services. Let me know in the comments what you think about Uber. Has it improved transportation in your city? Do you have any memorable experiences using the service? And do you agree with my list of reasons behind their success? Or would you add something else? As transportation continues to evolve with new technologies, what do you think the future holds for Uber? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.